Mr. Green here. Our topic today is solar farming. We're taking advantage of the 44 quadrillion watts of power the sun sends us to the earth every second. Hope you guys are well as a new presidential administration is now in D.C. We promise to be apolitical and think that will be a strength of this presentation. My handlers say we're not too polished yet with this presentation, but really I don't care. As said in the intro to this effort, we're small, but we have a very impactful message and want it out there as soon as we can get it. Since at my extended age, who knows how long I can do this. But as we grow, we will make it more professional and perhaps go back and redo some of the older videos to accommodate the way things are done routinely in this medium. Until then, please be patient with us and most importantly, enjoy the content, since that is why we will be unique. We spoke to a woman recently in a public forum that gave us some real-world knowledge about solar farms for private landowners. We'd always been curious about this business model since we drive around and see old orange groves in Florida turned into solar farms. This lady happens to own property in upstate New York. She'd been leasing to food farmers on about 100 acres of her land for only $200 per acre per month return. She was put in touch with developers that were offering a solar farm solution. Turns out the per acre take home on the solar farm is $2,500 per month per acre. We had no idea that type of return was available, so we did more reading on it. Some particulars of this process and what's important include why offer your land for a solar farm. Obviously, steady income stream for many years, possibly as many as 20 years. Minimal maintenance required, and the developer will probably handle that portion of it. Contribution to renewable energy. The satisfaction that your land is contributing to a very low carbon power source. There's something called agrovoltaics, where you can have the solar farming and grow traditional farming as well as livestock and vegetables at the same time. And then also solar microgenerators can earn revenue from carbon markets by selling their carbon credits. I guess that would depend on what deal you work out with the solar farm developer, whether he'd get the credits, that company would get the credits, or whether you possibly could. What's a solar developer looking for? Obviously sunlight. Land with high solar potential will generally command a higher lease rate. Proximity of the grid. Land close to power lines is more valuable for solar development. Also, substation distribution line closeness is good because the developer's going to have to, get this into the grid somehow. To connect to the grid, they also need three-phase distribution lines, the wooden telephone or utility poles that usually run along the roads and have three wires running from pole to pole. Voltage capabilities. The substation distribution lines must be capable of the voltage range required by the solar farms. Infrastructure capacity. As energy is transferred from a solar farm to an electric grid, that infrastructure needs to handle and absorb it. Developers want to ensure their project size won't overwhelm any substation or power grid. You can actually target certain customers with this. The solar developer will need to find a use for the power. This can be a local utility, or with the growth of AI, a lot of tech companies are building server locations around the country and need affordable, reliable power. Local regulations need to be considered. Policies, regulations, and laws need to support the growth of solar farms so developers can readily invest in a particular region. Tax incentives are a great indicator of political support for solar energy. New York State, where the lady that we're speaking of lives, has been mentioned as a state that gets...